Okay, so Summerslam. The first match was a kickoff match with Cesaro and RVD. God, I was distracted this whole time, just wondering what the fuck happened to Cesaro, which is probably exactly what I said the last month, because what the fuck happened to this guy? I honest to God, I just like, you know, I don't even watch main events, but somebody told me, like, well, you've got to watch main event because Cesaro had this amazing match, and I go watch it, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy goes like 20 minutes, and it's incredible. And I don't get it. I just don't get, they obviously trust Cesaro with, like, the top level talent to have great matches. He's got amazing athleticism. The guy can wrestle his ass off. He's willing to wrestle his ass off. And, like, the guy is, up until tonight, jobbing out to Jack fucking Swagger. And I'm like, he's wrestling prelim matches, and I just don't get it. You know, it's really crazy. And not that Rob Van Dam is, like, some kind of low-rent guy. He's not. I just don't get why he is where he is, why they've cooled on him so much as they have, and this really distracted me the whole match. It's just like I see so many people higher on the totem pole. I'm sorry. Yeah, this was a really good match because it has fucking Cesaro and Rob Van Dam in it. It's really good. I don't know what else more to say about it. I mean, they did great with the time they were given. Rob Van Dam has been really good since he came back, and I really don't like Rob Van Dam when he wrestles the WWE style, because I've always said that when he wrestles the WWE style, he's wrestled the same match every day for the last, well, ever since he came to the WWE, which is like over 10 years. But he's actually done a fairly good job, despite, I mean, he's slowed down a lot with age, but like everyone's going to, but he's actually wrestled pretty good matches. So, but he won with the frog splash, which he tried to do for like 6 times, but whatever. It was a very good match. Cesaro lost. It's becoming almost Ziggler-esque in proportions. Speaking of Dolph Ziggler, my favorite wrestler, we had Dolph Ziggler versus Johnny Cage for the Intercontinental Championship. Oh my God, this match. I predicted this was going to be a nightmare, and sure enough, nightmare inbound. Honestly, this was okay. Until the finish. This is one of the weirdest fucking finishes I've ever seen in my life. I will be fair. Dolph worked a pretty good match. And this fucking finish. I don't even know if I can mime it. I don't know if I had 2 people here if we could mime it. I don't know if Dolph and The Miz were here, that they could replicate it. It's so fucking stupid. I don't know how they explained it to Dolph and The Miz. I don't know if one of them had the idea, how they explained it to the other guy. It's that stupid. First, I will try to explain both of their finishing maneuvers. The first is called the Fame-Asser, or the Famouser, depending on who's delivering it. The Fame-Asser is essentially like, you are bent over at the waist, and I will take my leg and put it over the back of your head and then drop you on your face. There's a terrible way of describing it, but essentially, let's just say it's a leg drop while you are doubled over. So, like, whatever. And then there's the skull-crushing finale, which is the Miz's finishing move. So the skull-crushing finale, it's a side Russian leg sweep, which is basically like, I put my arm around you while we're standing, and the side Russian leg sweep is we fall backward. The skull-crushing finale is we fall forward. So I put my arm around you, and we just fall forward. It's a move that actually looks like it hurts the guy delivering it more than the guy who receives it. That's why I hate the skull crushing finale. Jeff Jarrett is actually the guy who really kind of, he called it the stroke, which is unfortunate, but whatever. I never liked the stroke, and I never liked the skull, but whatever. I don't like the Miz either. The Miz looks exactly like Johnny Cage. I hate the Miz's gimmick. I hate people who tell me, well, he makes it work. He's doing a really good job with the gimmick. No, he's fucking not. What is the fucking gimmick? The Miz looks like what a 6-year-old concept of what a pro wrestling heel is. What is the gimmick? It's sunglasses. You asshole. He's making the gimmick work. He's wearing fucking sunglasses. What? Hang on a second. Here. I'm the Miz. Don't hit me in the face. Awesome. This is literally all he's done. He's put fucking sunglasses on. I'm a heel now. This is it. He's like, he just sticks his nose in the air and he's like, A-list. Really? Really? What the fuck, man? Like, he makes the gimmick. What? This gimmick is so dumb. It's not even a gimmick. He's wearing sunglasses. And he goes, ooh, don't hit me in the face. Like, you don't get hit in the face 37 times in the first 5 minutes of a fucking match. Fuck you. This is fucking stupid. So, like, his entire gimmick now is, like, whenever he's in a match, he's like, ooh, ooh. Like, what the... Cody Rhodes called. He said his gimmick didn't work when he did it either, and he did it 1,000 times better than you did, Miz. Jesus Christ. This fucking sunglasses. It's what makes it work? The Rock tried this gimmick, and it didn't work. God damn it. This is all he does. He goes to the ring and he's like, awesome. And then he's like, ooh, like, God damn it, pisses me off. So now you got the two personalities in wrestling who piss me off the most in a fucking wrestling ring. So the finale. You do this fucking thing. Again, I don't even know if I can explain it. Give me a second. I'm fucking hoarse doing this shit. Do this thing. We're like... Dolph hits the Fameasser, okay? So, like, when you get hit with the Fameasser, you flop right on your face. So let's just, instead of explaining the finale, I'll just explain the move. I'll explain what happens to you when you hit the move. So, like, you're doubled over, and then you flop on your face. So when you're hit with the move, flop your face down. But you've hit the floor with a great deal of impact on your face. So what happens, though, is that The Miz, when hit with this devastating maneuver, hits the ground with such devastating impact that he bounces. He bounces with such overwhelming impact that he actually lands back on his feet. And then he grabs Dolph and hits him with a skull-crushing finale. This is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. So he's like, I'll try. I'm trying to do this with fake Dolph. So like, I'm like the Miz. I'm like, oh shit! Ah! Finisher. I'm like, what the? So I'll try to recap again. He gets hit with the Fameasser, bump, bounces, standing in the same motion. So face down, bounces, standing in the same motion, grabs him, skull-crushing finale. As he is hit with the finisher, he bounces to his feet, grabs him, and then falls back over. He oversold the move so much that it allowed him to hit his own finisher. That's really what happened. He oversold the move, which allowed him to bounce back to his feet and hit his own finisher. I cannot even process how stupid that... and that wasn't even the finish! Dolph fucking kicks out! I was like, if you're gonna do something that batshit monkey crap stupid, at least have that be the no! God damn it! Like, this match is gonna go on, and now fucking Dolph wins the title. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But it was so stupid, I didn't even know what the fuck happened. It was like somebody reversed the tape. It was like, this does not work in real Earth gravity. He bounced. He bounced? What? This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. He actually oversold the move so much, it circled back around into no-selling it. It was like when Warrior got hit with the pedigree and just stood back up. But in this case, Miz got hit with the Fameasser, but oversold it so much it actually like invigorated him. It was like it's like he got an invincibility star for like 0.8 seconds, which was just enough for him to hit his finisher and then die. Yeah. But like, I don't know what happens to Dolph now, because like, the guy is such a colossal loser that like, he's got the most cursed belt in wrestling history. Like, getting the Intercontinental title is the kiss of death. Once you win the Intercontinental title, you go on losing streaks of epic proportions. Nobody wants this title. Like, it kills everybody. It's cursed. So like, Dolph loses constantly, and now he's got the belt that makes him lose constantly. I'm like, what the fuck happens now? It's almost like a rift in the space-time continuum is gonna open now. Like, wow, like, this is gonna be horrible. I almost think he's gonna, like, I almost think it's gonna cancel each other out, and he's gonna go on a winning streak of Goldbergian proportions. This guy's gonna be unstoppable. Of course, on Raw, he loses. But, like, I almost think it's gonna give him magic powers. He's gonna, like, he's gonna swell like fucking Tetsuo. He's like, I can't stop it! Oh, like, it's like, this match was, it was okay, actually. But, like, that finish, I don't know, it was like out of my fucking nightmares. AJ Lee versus Paige. This was much better than the last time they did it. Much better. It was a very short match, though. This is when the network cut out for me. The network fucking died, and I missed the ending to it. So I had to catch the replay, which is why I was watching the replay when April walked in. So, like, the really good spots to this, although this is another one where the angle makes no sense to me. But, yeah, they did this really cool spot where AJ jumped off the top of the post to clothesline Paige on the outside. Fucking died for your sins on that one. The ending spot was AJ had her in the Black Widow submission. Paige claws her way out, and I fucking love this DDT she does. It's a fucking like a cradle DDT. Looks like it fucking murders her dead with that one. And then they start doing this thing, and this is where I don't get the angle at all. This whole thing, for the longest time, the last month, they've done this weird, like... The last month it was like please don't make me hurt you. I don't want to hurt you. You're my friend. And like, dang. And then now this month, it's like they're trying to out weird each other. But now they're like doing this like lesbian thing. I don't know. So like at SummerSlam, she's like knocked her out with the DDT, and like apparently I think AJ's dead. And like Paige is like just full on molesting her at this point. And like earlier in the match, like AJ's like kind of like crawling on top of her and like kind of like grinding. And I'm like, not sure if I should be fapping right now, but whatever. And I'm like, okay, but weird angle, man. And then on Raw, they're like doing the same weird shit. Like I don't even. In fact, there was this another really weird moment where like they really made Paige look out to be an idiot. Where like Paige wins the Divas title, and I'm like, oh, the next week she goes in the ring and she cuts this really smug, smarmy promo where she's like, I just want to dedicate this match to my friend AJ. I want to dedicate this match to her. Nya, 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 nya. And then when she's wrestling Natty, AJ comes out and starts skipping around the ring. And Paige looks stunned by this. And proceeds to look stunned by this for like 20 fucking seconds. Just... and then gets rolled up and pinned. I'm like, bitch, you stood in the ring and like talked smack to AJ for like a full minute in the ring, like daring her to come out. And then you're stunned that she came out. You're stupid. Like, I don't know. I was like, it's almost, I thought you wanted her to come out almost. And then you're like, she's like, what? Oh? I don't know. It was really dumb. Jack Swagger and Rusev. Oh, dear Lord. The flag match. I had this one called right, by the way. I said Rusev was going to win this one. By the way, they never explained what a flag match was. Every other flag match I've seen was like you had to hang your flag on a pole first, which is why it's a very Vince Russo match, because it involves a pole. Not this one, though. It was just a match. But if you won the match, your flag gets raised, and they play your national anthem. Whatever. So, they do this thing, where before the bell, Rusev tries to jump Jack, and then Jack gets, he recovers, and then puts Rusev in the ankle lock. And then, so the people separate them so they can have their match. But Rusev is making like his ankle's broken. He's like, oh, my fucking ankle. So he says it in Russian. But the referee he's asking Rusev if he can still wrestle a match. And Rusev is like, he's hobbling. He's like, oh, my fucking ankle. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Like, referee's like, can you wrestle? Can you wrestle? And Rusev is waving, like, clearly, like, I can't. No, my ankle is fucking broken. Like, I can't fucking wrestle. He's pointing at his ankle, which is like hanging there, and he's like, I fucking hurt, like I can't wrestle. And the referee goes, okay, let's go. And like he rings the bell, and I'm like, what? He starts the match. And I'm like, this guy pretty clearly told you that he can't wrestle. Why did you ask him? I was like, clearly this guy is biased against Russia. But no, this Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins thing. Okay. Wow. This match. Oh my God, this match. You know where I'm going with this, obviously, or otherwise I'd already be glowing about it right now. I'm gonna take heat. This match was dog shit. This match was shit. This match was such shit. I will give it credit. At least there was a match. But it was shit. I don't know. I don't even know where to start with this one. The fact that the story makes no sense. The match was shit. I don't like the way they're booking fucking Ambrose. Everything about this has been completely mishandled. This is horrible. Except for the wrestling itself, which they've done almost everything in their power to conceal. This is terrible. I'm like, I just want to see these guys fight. And they've done almost everything they can to make sure we don't see that. And I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? I just don't know. So the whole story is, last month, we're supposed to see a match. This doesn't happen. We get to see a pull-apart brawl, and they fight for like 20 seconds in a parking lot. Bait and switch as hell. This month, finally going to get him in a match. Dean Ambrose is. So Dean Ambrose wins a match that lets him choose the rules, the stipulations for the match at this pay-per-view. So, genius that he is. He's like, Seth, I'm sick of you running away from me. I'm going to choose a match where you can't run away from me. I'm going to choose a lumberjack match. I will explain, because it's one of the stupidest sounding names for a match, if you don't know what that is. It is a match where the ring is surrounded by other wrestlers, wherein if somebody is thrown out of the ring or tries to leave the ring, the other wrestlers who surround the ring will usually grab that person and throw them back in the ring, and oftentimes beat the shit out of them in the process. The theory behind this being, in the great wild north of the Yukon, where lumberjacks are frequent, whatever, where there are many lumberjacks, and lumberjacks get into fights, or something like that, instead of rings, they would just form a circle of lumberjacks. And so they're just very ad hoc rings. And so if somebody was to get punched and like fly around, they would just fall into the ring of lumberjacks, and the lumberjacks would just throw you back in the middle of the ring. So the ring was basically comprised of lumberjacks. It wasn't ropes, it was lumberjacks, and that's what a lumberjack match is. But it would still be in a ring. They just whatever. So he's like, I'm gonna put you in a lumberjack match. And you're like, that's stupid. Or I'm like, that's stupid because it's stupid. And you're like, why is that stupid? And I'm like, several reasons. One, you could have chosen any stipulation you wanted, and that's it. You couldn't have chosen. Well, there's obviously I choose a match where you're handcuffed and chained to a wall, and I have a stick, and I beat the shit out of you anytime I want match. But let's just say he wants a relatively competitive match. Okay. So but like, a lumberjack match. Okay, fine. I'm assuming that I know for a fact he got to choose the lumberjacks. Because they said specifically that he chose wrestlers that were the victims of attacks by the Shield that don't like Seth Rollins. Okay. This is forgetting that Dean Ambrose was in the Shield too. They don't like either one of you. What the fuck is happening? So, oh my god, like. So now let's go over the lumberjacks who surround the ring. Okay? And this is just off the top of my head. Fandango, Heath Slater, The Ryback, Curtis Axel, The Wyatts. Yeah, The Wyatts. Cesaro. Oh my god, I'm forgetting so many people. Uh, all of them heels. Virtually all of them heels. You know, almost all of them heels. And like you surrounded the ring with heels. Like with bad guys who hate you, who are and lumberjack matches always screw the baby faces. So like you've chosen a match, surrounded them with assholes, surrounded the ring with assholes who you know to be assholes, who hate you specifically because you were in the Shield. They hate Seth too, but they hate you. So like if either one of you gets outside the ring, they're gonna beat the shit out of you. And I'm like, ah. Plus, this in no way guarantees you any kind of safety from the authority, like Kane and shit like that. So you've surrounded the ring with assholes who are easily like going to take a payoff or something like that. I'm like, this is so dumb. This makes Dean Ambrose look like such a moron. And sure enough, Dean Ambrose proves to look like a complete moron because the entire premise of the match bites him right in the dick. I can't even believe it because so they're out there having their fucking lumberjack match and the action is decent and then somebody gets thrown out of the ring. And then the lumberjack concept immediately just fucking falls apart because they immediately fail at being fucking lumberjacks. Because they not only fail to cut any lumber, they fail to throw anybody back in the fucking ring. Like, they immediately start attacking Dean Ambrose, which right away your plan fails, Dean. Because the majority of the match takes place outside of the fucking ring. They escape the lumberjacks. Because I forget how, but like, yeah, I think what happens is initially like Dean gets thrown out of the ring, and they both start fighting the lumberjacks. Like they go outside and they're like yeah, oh, I remember what happens. They tumble outside of the ring, and Dean and Seth are like still brawling. And the lumberjacks try to separate them. And they're like, no, fuck you. We don't want to be separated. We want to fight. And so they both turn and start fighting the fucking lumberjacks and start beating the shit out of them. And so now they've knocked over all the lumberjacks. And so how shitty are the lumberjacks when these two guys can beat the crap out of them single-handedly or double-handedly, whatever. But like, yeah, so now the lumberjacks are on the defensive. They've completely failed. Now the action, they've completely breached the barricade, they've breached the blockade, so to speak, and are now fighting all over the goddamn place. So now the lumberjacks, the fighting is going on in the fucking stands. And the lumberjacks are just kind of impotently standing around the ring going, Really? They're just standing there going like, what do we do? I don't know. They gave us a handbook for this kind of match, but I didn't really read it. Like, Sin Cara's standing there. And what's actually funny is you can actually read Sin Cara's expression visibly change, even though he's wearing a mask. He goes from, like, frustration to bemusement to not giving a shit. He's just like... like, he's got really good body language. It's like... but they're all just kind of standing there going like, they're over there. They're really far away now. So like Kane comes out and he starts yelling at the fucking guy. He's like, you guys suck. Go get them. Like, I'm like, yeah. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, and Kane's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know. This match sucks. Like, what the fuck is the point of this? The stipulation of this match sucks. They're not doing anything, and they're just like, they're fighting over here, and you guys are over here, and there's nothing in the ring, and you guys are surrounding the ring with nothing inside it. And like, why the fuck did you bring these fuckers out here if they're not going to do anything? And go get them, please. And eventually they go get them, and then they throw them back in the ring. And then they start fighting in the ring, and when they're fighting in the ring, it's fine, but they're only fighting in the ring for like 2 fucking minutes. And then like... So they're fighting in the ring, and it's good. And then Dean Ambrose hits the curb stomp on him, and he's like, oh, I'm going to win now. So they're fighting. He hits the curb stomp. Referee starts counting. And just like I fucking predicted, it goes 1, it goes 2, and Kane pulls the ref out of the ring. And I'm like, no shit. Maybe if you picked a cage match or something, that might fucking happen. Or maybe if Dean picked a fucking lumberjack that might not have fucked him in the ass, like Roman Reigns... might not have happened, and don't fucking tell me you couldn't have picked Roman Reigns because he had a match later on in the night, because RVD and Cesaro were out there, and they had a match earlier in the fucking night. So fuck you. But yeah, so Kane pulls the referee out of the ring and starts beating the shit out of him. So then the complete clusterfuck happens, and the Lumberjacks storm the fucking ring, but it starts with Goldust for some reason. Goldust gets in Kane's face and is like, you can't do that because that's bad. Yeah. So, like, Goldust gets in Kane's face. Kane slaps Goldust in the face. Okay? So he slaps Goldust, and Cody Stardust. Cody is so enraged by this. Stardust has seen his brother slapped in the face by Kane. He's so angry by this, he charges across the ring and attacks Eric Rowan. And anyway, they all fight. And then Seth Rollins hits Dean Ambrose in the face with his Money in the Bank briefcase and wins. And this match sucked. I'm sorry, it sucked. I just want to see them fight. I don't want to see a clusterfuck. And every time they've done this, it's been a clusterfuck. Stop fucking the cluster. I just want to see them fight. God damn it. So tired of this shit. And then, fast forwarding to Raw, this is where I just fucking lost it. They have a really great match. Oh my god. So he's like, Dean Ambrose... Seth Rollins is doing an interview backstage. You'd think by now he'd learn to watch his back because he keeps getting jumped doing backstage interviews. But no. He keeps doing backstage interviews, just keeps getting surprised when he gets blindsided. But he gets blindsided again, and he finally storms into Triple H's office, and he's like, fuck it, I keep getting jumped by this guy. And Triple H is like, come on, it was pretty funny. And he's like, no, fuck it, I want to... And Triple H is like, well, I'm going to give you one more match with this guy, and this time I want you to finish him off. He's like, fuck it, fine, I'll do it. So they give us this vote on the app. It's like, you're going to get to choose what type of match is going to be. I laughed so hard. So here are the 3 matches, the 3 types of matches that we can choose from. It's a no-holds-barred match, a falls count anywhere match, or a no disqualification match. Now, there is a difference between the 3. A very distinct difference between the 3. But in WWE logic, those 3 matches, those 3 terms, have meant the exact same thing for years. They mean the exact same thing in the WWE. They all mean different things, but not in the WWE. You're voting for... They all might as well say no disqualification, because that's what they all mean. And that's the match they wrestled. It is. Because what actually stunned me was they voted for the one match I don't think they wanted, was the Falls Count Anywhere match, because that's the one that's actually not a no DQ match. A Falls Count Anywhere match actually still has disqualifications, but they just kind of ignored that. I think they wanted a no DQ match because that's essentially the match that looks like they prepared for. Because technically, you can be disqualified in a no-holds-barred match. No-holds-barred means that no holds are illegal. I know that's redundant, but that's what it means. Is like some holds are illegal, like a choke hold, fish hooking is illegal. In a no holds barred match, you can choke people, but you can't hit somebody with a chair. That's not a hold. That's hitting somebody with a chair. That's the difference. You can't have somebody run in and hit somebody for you. That's not a hold. No disqualification means you can do pretty much anything and you can't be disqualified. But you doesn't mean you still have to pin somebody in the ring. It just means you can't be disqualified. That's the difference. But a false count anywhere match means you can get pinned anywhere, but it doesn't mean you can hit somebody with a chair necessarily. But the WWE, they all mean no disqualification. And yet they've all seemed fairly adamant about the false count anywhere stipulation. You still have to pin them in the ring, except in a false count anywhere match. Whatever. But in this case, they get a false count anywhere match, which I was like, really? But yeah, so they get that. They proceed to fight outside of the ring for approximately 15 seconds. Then they just run right back into the ring, and then they have the entire match in the ring until the last minute, where they had the finish obviously planned. But if the entire match involved weapons, so I was like, right away, there's no disqualifications in this false count anywhere match. So I don't know why they bothered having us vote, because this is obviously a no disqualification match. I'm just, because he gets a running powerbomb on a pile of fucking chairs. If there was ever going to be a disqualification, that would have been the time. It was a really cool spot, by the way. But yeah, I was like, what match would that not have been a disqualification? Why did you have us vote? In what match would that not have been permitted? I'm just curious now at what point. But yeah, I was like, for a false count anywhere match, they did not really exercise that stipulation. It says to me they didn't plan for that one to win, but yeah, weird times. I don't know why they bother sometimes having a vote, except maybe to push the app. But well, I mean, that's obviously the reason, but in this case in particular, this was such a non-choice. I can't even think of one that's more meaningless, one that's more redundant. I can't even. Three matches that are. What would you like the referee to wear in this match? Black and white stripes, white and black stripes, or alternating stripes of light and dark colors. You win. Black and white stripes it is. I don't know. I think they have had the audience vote on the retro outfits of the announcers, whatever. Oh my god. But yeah, the way that match, this was a great match. Finally, I got to see these guys wrestle with very little bullshit up until Kane interfered. I'm like, dude, that's great. But yeah, there was such great action going on here. The fucking running powerbomb onto the pile of chairs was crazy awesome. But then they had to go do some bullshit near the end. As usual, pretty much every one of these fucking matches has ended the same way, or at least when Dean Ambrose is about to win, Kane pulls the ref out. So, this is Raw, by the way. So, he choke slams him on the table, then Dean hits the curb stomp on the table, and then here comes the big finale. He pulls the top off the timekeeper's table, and there's this big pile of cinder blocks, or what appear to be cinder blocks, but they're in this world, they're cinder blocks. So he's like, finish him. The words finish him appear above the screen. Finish him. So he holds Dean Ambrose's head over these cinder blocks, and Seth does the curb stomp on the cinder blocks and puts his head through the entire pile of cinder blocks. He American History X's this guy through the fucking cinder blocks. We've essentially witnessed a murder on Monday Night Raw. The way this guy's head goes through these fucking cinder blocks, he's dead. He's been murdered. He's dead. Like, this is seriously like the most violent thing I've ever seen on Raw in a long fucking... I think the most violent thing I've seen up until that point, aside from... I remember when Edge fucking... Kane pushed, like, Paul Bearer off the ladder to his certain doom. And that was pretty fucking violent. Yeah. But I remember when I think they put Triple H in a car and, like, dropped it off a gigantic forklift and murdered him, that he was fine the next week. But that was pretty horrible. Yeah, Paul Bearer being murdered on television was pretty horrifying. But, yeah, they pretty much murdered Dean Ambrose. Like, straight up killed him with a curb stomp, like, right out of American History X. I was like, wow, they showed this for kids. It was disgusting. Yeah. So they've pretty much made Dean Ambrose to look like a fool, a loser, and now he's dead. I really am amazed at, like, wow. This was horrible. They have completely destroyed, and I'm not talking destroyed in terms of, like, character physically. I'm like, they have completely fucked over Dean Ambrose in terms of credibility. Like, he's lost decisively. He's been painted as a fool and a loser, and he's dead now. And I'm like, I'm just going, well, that settles that. He sucks, and he's dead. Apparently he's going to go shoot a movie or something, but okay. Such ends that very sad chapter in that insane man from the Shield who couldn't win at all, and Seth handily kicked his ass at every turn because he was an idiot. I don't know. The feud was so bad, and I hated every second of it, except for the times when they were wrestling, which was few and far between. And I'm sorry, this was terrible. I just wish they'd have wrestled.